All right, guys, so today I'm going to show you how to mask and recolor specific parts of a photo. So you guys already know how to recolor an entire photo. You just use like your temperature or your tint. But with masking, we can color just a part of the photo. So we're going to use this to make some fun pop art inspired images for our next project. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go to this mask button, which we just learned how to use. And I'm going to hit the plus button and I'm going to get a bunch of options for masking. So select subject works great if you're trying to just adjust contrast on your subject. But for this exercise, you guys are going to use the brush tool. So we click on brush and we've got some options. We can change the size, so we could make it a really big brush, a smaller brush. So it really depends on what it is that you want to mask. And we can change the flow. So maybe we don't want a really hard edged brush. So then I'm going to use my brush tool. And it's not actually recoloring your image red. This is just showing you where the mask is. So remember that. And so if I want a smaller brush, I can go down to a smaller size and I can add my mask. And if I don't like parts of my selection, I can go to my eraser tool and I can just make that selection a little more precise. But as I said, we're not going to need to be super perfect for this project. So now that I have my mask on my hair, I can go over here to my color adjustments, and I have all kinds of ways that I can adjust my color. So I could try temperature, and now I've got some funky blue hair. Actually, I kind of like that. And so I can click down here and I can return to my masks. So now maybe I want to change the color of my shirt. So I'm going to go back to my brush. I'm creating a new mask now. And I'm going to mask out my shirt. And again, I don't have to be precious about this. You can if you really want to, but I'm not. I don't think that it's necessary, and I think it's fun for pop art images to be kind of loose. And when you look at pop art, a lot of the images that you see, the registration is off, so it's really okay to go outside of the boundaries of what you're trying to mask, at least for this. And now I can go back over there, and maybe I want to change the hue. So I can change the hue of this shirt. Not loving that. I think maybe I'll try something else. Maybe I'll change the color this way. So I'll go around. It's hard because this is a blue or a black shirt, so there's not a lot of options for changing the color. But I can definitely work with what I've got there. Same thing if I want to create a mask for that tree behind me. Again, I can go in. I could try selecting my background, but it doesn't look like that's an option here. So I could go in, I can again do my subject or my brush, and I think I'm going to make this one much bigger because I have a pretty big background. That might be a little too big. So I go back and forth. I change my brush size just depending on where in the image I'm trying to. So I might make it smaller when I'm going in to areas that are smaller themselves or where I just want a little more control. And of course, I can always go back with my eraser and say, whoops, I didn't mean to mask this. I didn't mean to mask my hair. So I'll undo all of that. I'll undo this portion right here. And Again, now I can go over to my color and I can change my tint. I could change my saturation, so I could really oversaturate this. And then I can again change it if I want to go back into my mask and I want to add to my mask. I can just click back on that mask that I just selected and I can go back over and continue masking. So if I realize there are parts that I missed, parts that I want to change, or parts that I want to add to or take away, it's very easy for me to go back and do that. There are other tools that you can use when you're masking. So you can go in and change the effects. You can go in and distort the image or change your noise, change your sharpness. But for today, we're really going to focus on just changing our color. And of course, if you change your exposure, your colors are going to change as well in the mask. So you could under or overexpose and see how that changes your image and changes the actual colors themselves. So that's it. That's how to recolor in Photoshop in Lightroom. It's going to give you some fun, funky colors. I've got this outline around myself. I'll probably just leave. I could go in and fix, but part of pop art is just being free and having fun and not worrying about precision. So if you guys need to go back and reference this video, it'll be here for you. And if you have any questions, of course, just talk to me in class and I can help you out.